Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Well, I wanted to give you first off the Finn update. He finally pooped. It wasn't a big one like I thought it would be big, but it wasn't. But there was no blood in it. It all looked good. And so far so good. So he's climbing up that hill. He's looking better and better. So don't you guys worry. And I will continue to keep you updated. My gosh, you guys, we have a lot to cover in this video. Oh, all right, let's just jump in and go, shall we? Let's go. We're starting off with news today that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, patron, will attend the England versus, I guess it's pronounced Paw, New Guinea Rugby League World Cup quarterfinal on Saturday at the DW Stadium in Wigan. I think I'm saying that correctly. I look forward to seeing that. Yay, Catherine. All right, moving on. Karen Brady is upset with Mr. Sunak's decision to block King Charles from going to COP27. Now, actually, let me just say, first of all, it was Liz Truss who told Charles he probably shouldn't go. I don't think Mr. Sunak is blocking him. They can advise him, but they can't tell him what to do. But, I mean, obviously Charles is listening for whatever reason. He's decided he's not going. I'm not sure what all the issues are, but okay, he's not going to COP27. There you go. As I showed you yesterday in the interview, Mr. Sunak said that if he gets the budget under control, then there's a chance that he will be going. So, yet nothing is set in stone at this point. You never know. Something could come up. Charles could decide he's going to go. You just never know about that sort of thing. All right, moving on. All right, I just wanted to throw this in. This was sent to me by one of my subscribers who did not give me permission to use her name. But as you can see, Harry's book, if you sign up for Audibles, where they read the book to you, it's free. Now, the Express News in the UK did a poll. We all know how they love their polls, to see how many people would actually read this book. 93% said they wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it too. All right, this next story came out saying that Harry and Meghan are peddling their titles and they're making money from lies. Hello, people. Like, we already know this, don't we? To the person on Twitter who put this together, thank you. Here is an extensive list of verified lies. These are not guesses. These are things that have been proven to be big, fat porky pies that have come not only out of Meghan's mouth, but Harry's mouth as well. Now, we're all aware that Harry and Meghan said when they left that they would uphold the values of Her Majesty the Queen. We all know that they have not done that. We all know that they've used those titles for no other reason than to make money, and they're parading around like they're royals. We already know, and we already know now that those were given as a wedding gift because they said they were going to stay and work, and of course we found out later on that was another big porky pie. My goodness, you guys. So on Good Morning Britain, they had this woman. She's a historian, Dr. Tessa Dunlap. So she has her PhD, I guess, in history. God knows she's like Shouty Shola, one of the smartest, dumbest people I've ever met, okay? So she's sitting on the stage with Tom Bower, and this is what she had to say to Tom Bower. I want you guys to listen to this. Just listen to what she said.
Of rank hypocrisy, because that is precisely what it is. You talk about them making their fortune in Montecito. Arguably, Harry, with good reason. He's had a pretty rough ride in his young life. Meanwhile, you are sitting there in your little establishment position, raking it in off the back of their arguable misfortune or fortune, depending how you spin the coin. I mean, we all have books to promote. I actually have one next week, as we've mentioned, two of Tom's, Elizabeth and Philip. Now, I think it's appalling,
it's
actually, what you're doing. I saw you masquerading as an expert in The Sun, pretending you know what's in this book, saying that their titles should be stripped. arguably, they've brought the royal family to a whole younger audience. That, young people on TikTok talk about Harry and Meghan. They care about them. This is a bit of exported British tinsel. Yes, they no longer belong in that family. Yes, they do loads of sun-drenched photographs and they've dropped the royal regalia. So what? They're a different generation from you, Tom. Let them be. Let them be.
Because they're making their money out of lying. That's why. I don't lie in my books.
Oh, never?
Let me finish.
What, on the people that you talk to don't lie?
No, they don't lie.
We don't know, Tom, because yours are all off the record.
I don't publish lies, and they deliberately went to the Oprah Winfrey interview and said 17 lies, and that is unforgivable because, let me finish, because they're not trading as an author, they're not trading as someone who's done any work, they're just peddling their titles.
Did you hear this woman? She's so, how stupid can you be? Oh, she's brought the royals to a younger audience. Actually, she's brought the royals into disrepute. She's accused them of being racist. People are shouting for the end of the monarchy. And then you come to find out that half of the stuff that came out of Harry and Meghan's mouth were lies. By the way, I love this picture of Tom above because that's the picture that comes on his face when his bullcrap-o-meter is going off, because that's all this woman was full of. I mean, my God, whoever's employing her better take a step back, people. My God. But she didn't stop there. No. Let me just say that every word that fell from Tom Bower's mouth was a nugget of truth, okay? But this woman decides to then go and talk to Piers Morgan because she's pushing her own book. Oh my God, listen to this.
Only reason. See, this is a family we're talking about here. They had a pop at them on Oprah, right, calling them a bunch of callous racists. Are they going to really do it all over again in a book?
Do you know, if you don't want this book to succeed, if it irks you that much, stop talking about it.
No, hang on.
That's what I say to you.
It will succeed. It will be a massive #1 bestseller. That's not my argument. He's got to make his money back by getting out there and flogging it. My point is, he is trashing the very institution and the people at the head of it, which have afforded them the titles, which is the only reason anybody cares about.
It is an extraordinary gilded cage, which comes with a dump load of privilege and lots of problems. It's a goldfish bowl from day one. Princess Elizabeth grew up in that goldfish bowl. Harry grew up in that goldfish bowl and couldn't really find another girl to go with him who wanted to join him in the goldfish bowl, which is why Meghan became his saviour in many respects. Look at Philip. Look at Philip when he first married Elizabeth.
The Queen died one of the most beloved people in the world.
Indeed, she did.
Because she never complained, she never explained, she never whined, she never trashed the monarchy, never trashed her family.
She had her ups and downs.
These two in California want their royal cake and eat it. They want to make millions trading off their royal status while saying the royal family are god-awful. By the way, my father's awful, the Queen Camilla is awful, the monarchy is disgusting, and they want to make millions doing it.
And I believe...
And I say they shouldn't be allowed to.
I believe, I wish they weren't, but they are, and I believe the British monarchy should be broad-shouldered enough to just let it wash over, because that is what will happen. And that's what the Queen would want.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The royal family should just let it go. Let them continue their attacks, and they should just let it roll off their shoulders. Don't worry about it. They should be bigger than Harry. This woman is an idiot. Where did she come from? She ought to sit down with Shouty Shola. I'm telling you. Well, I had to put something on Twitter about this. I said, please explain why Harry and Meghan should be left alone when they are the ones constantly attacking and putting themselves in the press, not to mention the proven lies, the perjury in court that was proven, and the bullying of her staff, not to mention, what she's doing to her own family and her sister. Where did you get your doctorate? Guess what? She did not respond to me. Go figure. But other people did respond, thinking out loud, pointing out that it makes you question the doctorate, seeing how integrity is so important in academia, which it is. And yet this doctor is condoning the lying and publicly supports these liars. So one can assume that maybe her dissertation and other publications can be ethically challenged. Excellent point. Theater Mom pointed out that basically the translation of what she says is leave them alone and let them tell their lies. Spot on. And I completely agree with Tom Bower. Their titles should be stripped. They never meant to stay as working royals. That's been proven. Absolutely beyond a doubt proven. And those were given as a wedding gift because they were going to be working royals. And now they're making their money damaging the royal family. Absolutely, the titles should go. Moving on. Now, it should be noted that people pointed out that one of the reasons why Harry and Meghan continue to attack over and over and over again is because they know that the firm will not return the attack on him. Personally, I think one clear the air interview, not with Charles, but with William, where they bring their receipts, set the record straight on everything that was said. We're not racist. This is what they were talking about. This is why they said this. This is why they said that. We've had enough of being attacked. And so we've decided to give them what they want, their freedom. They're out of the line of succession. They'll always be loved, much members of our family. But now they don't have to worry about coming back to work for the royal family. He's no longer a counselor of state. They're out of the lines of succession. They no longer have their titles. We hope they'll be happy in the United States, and good luck to you. That's what they should do. Moving on. I was absolutely shocked when I read this, and yet I'm not. The TV executive that was behind Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah was the producer of the program that actually showed the actual images of Princess Diana as she lay dying. And there's no way that Harry was not aware of that. So he worked with the woman that showed the pictures of his dying mother on television. How freaking low can you go? All right, you go. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's what's going on. So the press were given a screening of what they filmed for The Crown. And apparently the Netflix series portrays Charles, Philip, and the Queen with disdain, bordering on being a mockery, and William is seen as dim and sulky. The only person who was not completely ripped to shreds during this was, take a guess, Harry. Can you, are you kidding? Harry has sold his soul to the devil. Going to hell, man, you are going to hell. Oh my God. All right, let's move on. Now, I don't want to go back through all of her podcasts up till now. We've already discussed them. She's talked over all of her guests. She's turned the attention back to her on every single podcast. She's been caught again in out-and-out lies during her podcasts. So I really didn't expect anything more out of this next one. And once again, she got caught out-and-out lying. Here we go. And the first surprise is that she FaceTimes her mother in the middle of the podcast and praises her for juggling so much while raising her. Problem is, she didn't raise her. She was gone. It was Thomas Markle who raised her. Once again, the fact checker totally missed this. Unbelievable. And one of her guests, by the way, was Sophie Trudeau. Yes, Justin Trudeau's wife, the Canadian guy. And she talks about, we were giggling like schoolgirls at my $14 million mansion. We splashed about on an inflatable pizza slice and drank wine. And then, of course, we find out that they've been friends since 2016. They've known each other. There's a picture of Meghan chatting with Sophie's husband at one of the One Young World Summits, I believe it was. Okay, so this Archetype podcast is basically good wife, good mom, bad mom sort of thing. And of course, oh my God, here goes Meghan, how she shares her day by the pool, as I just told you about, and what it's like to be a mom and a partner in the public eye, and the crushing expectations, and here we go. Okay, but what she says in here is, the monitors are on, and Lily gets up first, then Archie, and she says, I do his lunchbox right before he gets up, and then while I have her getting a little nibble, my husband helps me get him downstairs, and I make breakfast for all three, and it's so important that I cook their breakfast. Like, who is she kidding? Who is she kidding? The nanny gets them up. The nanny gets them dressed. I'm sure they have a cook in the house, just like they have a gardener. They don't drive their own cars without security and all this I mean, come on, people. This is such crap. Remember, this is the same woman that complained that she had to cook for herself and Harry at Frogmore Cottage, that they didn't even have a cook. Nobody was cooking for them. I mean, are you kidding? Give me a break. What you're listening to is part of the new PR push, a new softer, kinder Meghan. She's just like you. She has to juggle the kids and work. Really? Well, thank you to Genevieve on Twitter for this, because this is what an insider reports actually goes on, and this sounds a little bit more like it. So the insider says that Harry is up at the crack of dawn. He gets the kids fed, washed, and dressed because Meghan is busy either sleeping in, then she's busy with Zoom calls or nipping into LA for meetings, and that Harry chauffeurs her to those meetings, but then he goes back to the kids because he doesn't like leaving them with the nannies, which apparently is something that Meghan doesn't have any problem doing. That would not surprise me in the least. All right, moving on to our last story for today. Meghan Markle said, I was getting ready for my UK citizen test and I studied hard for it. And it was so hard that a couple times I had to ask Harry. And basically what she said was it was so hard, Harry couldn't answer some of the questions. Well, my thought process to that would be, why would he be able to answer the questions when he cheated his way through school? That's the first thing. And of course, there's the fact that she just told another porky pie, because you have to live in the UK for 3 years before the date of your application. She left with Harry before she was like a year before she was eligible to even take that test. So she's not where does this come from? Like, where does she pull this stuff from? It's a lie. Doesn't she even bother to check the facts to make her lies more plausible? Come on, you guys. I mean, let's face it. This poor girl had to Google the UK anthem. Oh my God. Give me a break. All right, enough with her for today. Ugh. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Leave those comments below. Make them good. I'm reading every single comment. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you've already hit the button, double check to make sure that you are still subscribed, okay? Don't forget you can go into the description box and there are the links if you want to follow me on Twitter, Getter, Rumble, if you want to join my Patreon, if you want to email me. For those of you who have donated money through my coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.